in the introduction, so we're talking about in this very first part that you're going to write out and you're going to have memorized, in that you're going to create what's called a hook. You have to hook them. It's just like fishing, and that's why we use that term hook. If I throw my line out in the water, I want to hook the fish. Well, in the case of the speech, I want to hook the audience. 6 ways to do that, right here. Write them down. Story, a quote, a question, an interesting or shocking fact, an unusual statement, humor. I don't like to use humor or recommend it for my 8th graders usually because they're not very good at it. 8th graders, they typically do something weird like a joke that does not match the speech. You want it to flow well, right? You want it to hook the audience. You don't want it to confuse the audience. The hook is trying to captivate their audience, trying to get their attention. So, I'm going to do that now. Watch this. 9/11. Let's say I'm giving a speech about 9/11, September 11th, 2001, which is coming up soon, right? I can remember I was teaching class 7th grade. I taught geography and economics. A teacher came in the door and said, "Mr. Brown, have you seen on TV a plane flew right into one of the Twin Towers?" Now, did you notice what happened? I told my personal story. What happened to you all?
Yeah.
Did you feel it? Because I felt that you all were like sucked into my personal story. The next thing you're going to do is state the goal of the speech. Basically, at this point of the speech, you tell what you're talking about. Tell the audience what you're talking about. What is the speech about? Today I'm going to tell you about Hurricane Katrina and how it affected our economy. Something like that. In the body, what you're going to do is this. You're going to share your main points. For me, on mine, I don't have main points. I just put examples. What I really want you to recognize is that you're going to put key words in here. Key words that will trigger your brain and what it is that you want to talk about. You don't need to write out the entire speech right here. Make sure that when you do this, you reveal your research. This is where you take your kindergarten show and tell, and you show and you tell what you've learned and what you have to talk about in your speech. Helpful hints. Make good eye contact. Change your tone, pitch, and volume. Sometimes, watch this, really important point. I really want you to understand this. Sometimes, if you get softer, it actually forces the audience to pay attention more. Because I'm soft now, and you have to strain to hear me. And sometimes you want to emphasize the point by getting louder, maybe angry even. Okay? So if you change your tone, pitch, and volume, you can capture the audience that way as well. The last thing that's a helpful hint is you have to recognize vision trumps all senses. If you know that, then always, 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 everyone write this down, always have a visual aid when you do a speech in my classroom. Make sure your visual aid is big enough that everyone can see it. Use this radio as an example. Is this a visual aid?
Yeah.
Yes. Is this a visual aid?
Yes.
Yes. Is this a visual aid?
Yes.
Yes. So you can have, I hate PowerPoints, but you can use PowerPoints like this as a visual aid. Could you use a map? Yes. Could you use a chart? Yes. Can you use a graph? Yes. Always, always have something for the audience to look at. Video, maps, charts, graphs, or my favorite of all time, real stuff for students to look at. It's just like show and tell in kindergarten. Now here's the thing not to do. Do not pass it around while you deliver the speech. Now notice where everyone's eyes just went. As I start to pass it around the room, everyone's now following what? The cannonball. Always do this too. Close with some sort of transitional phrase. Let the class know, let the audience know that your speech is about to be over. You do that by key phrases like, in conclusion. That's a signal to the class. I would like to leave you with this thought. Or simply, the last thing I want to tell you is memorize the front, memorize the back, have an outline in the middle.